So last weekend, I decided I was going to be my own plumber. I had this notoriously complicated sink issue, pulled up a bunch of internet tutorials, and honestly, I felt incredibly confident.
Oh no, I feel like I already know where this is going.
Yeah, well, fast forward an hour, and my kitchen is just completely flooded. I'm standing there totally soaked with a wrench in my hand, and I realized something. Having access to all the world's information is, like, completely useless without an adaptable guide who can look at your specific pipes and tell you exactly what to do.
Right, because a generic tutorial doesn't know that the original builder of your house routed the pipes backwards to save space or something.
Exactly. And that gap between, generic information and personalized guidance is really what brings us to today's intellectually curious deep dive. We are unpacking Microsoft's June 2026 launch of the MAI model family.
Which is all about giving us that customized, patient guide you so desperately needed for your sink.
Exactly. And speaking of custom solutions, if you are looking to build your own custom AI, our sponsor, Embersilk, is the place to go. Whether you need help with AI training, automation, software development, or uncovering exactly where AI agents can make the most impact for your business or personal life, check out embersilk.com. But to understand how Microsoft is building this personalized guide, we really first have to talk about the raw engine behind it.
We do, yeah. Because the reality of AI today is just entirely bound by the sheer scale of compute power. A compute used to train frontier models has already grown by a factor of 1 trillion.
I mean, a trillion, like a trillion-fold increase.
Yeah, a trillion-fold. And the industry expects another 1,000-fold jump over just the next 3 years.
That sounds astronomically expensive and, well, time-consuming. If everyone else is already building these massive models, why is Microsoft pouring that much raw power into building a hill-climbing machine from scratch? Because I know a lot of companies use a shortcut called distillation, right? Where they essentially use an older, bigger model to train a smaller one. So why reinvent the wheel?
That is a great question, because distillation is essentially copying someone else's homework. It's faster, sure, but you only learn what the bigger model already knew, and that includes its flaws and its blind spots.
Oh, so you just inherit the bad with the good.
Exactly. By training the new MAI models from scratch on completely clean data, Microsoft forces the AI to learn the fundamental logic itself. Think of it like an athlete building genuine muscle through rigorous training, rather than just throwing on a padded suit to look big.
That is a brilliant analogy.
Right. And they can afford to do this computationally heavy lifting because they co-design their own custom hardware.
Yeah.
The Maya 200 silicon, that custom chip alone gives them a 1.4x efficiency boost right out of the gate.
Wow. Okay, so that custom hardware really explains the performance leaps we've been seeing. Because their flagship reasoning model, MAI-Thinking-1, is actually beating Sonnet 4.6 in blind human evaluations.
Which is huge.
Yeah. And their MAI Transcribe 1.5 model is running 5 times faster while handling highly specific domain terminology across 43 languages.
Yeah, but the custom hardware doesn't just make the baseline models faster. It's actually the exact reason Microsoft can afford to introduce what they call frontier tuning.
Right, frontier tuning. I've seen that term.
Yeah, this is where the technology stops being a generic search engine and starts adapting directly to how you work.
Okay, but how does that actually work in practice? The documentation says it uses reinforcement learning to study the trace of real work. What exactly is a trace?
So instead of just reading a generic instruction manual on how to use Excel, the AI actually watches your specific trace. That means the exact sequence of your keystrokes, the unique financial formulas your team uses, your daily decision-making process.
Oh, wow. So it's observing your actual workflow in real time.
Precisely. And through reinforcement learning, it rewards itself for matching your exact logic. It basically acts as a private, highly secure training gym for your specific workflows, accessible only to your organization.
Okay, so the custom Maya 200 silicon makes it cheap enough to actually run a private AI gym for individual companies. That makes total sense. And the efficiency gains are just wild. I saw that McKinsey tuned an MAI model for their own enterprise standards and hit their highest win rate ever.
Yeah, that was a massive success story.
They matched the reasoning performance of GPT 5.4, but they did it at a 10 times lower cost because the model was perfectly tailored to them.
Exactly. Now take that highly efficient, customized capability out of the corporate spreadsheet and apply it to a high-stakes environment. Microsoft just announced this brilliant collaboration with the Mayo Clinic to co-create a frontier clinical reasoning model.
Wait, using real patient data? Because that sounds incredibly risky from a privacy standpoint.
Oh, absolutely. But they're using entirely de-identified data. And crucially, this custom model is owned by the Mayo Clinic itself.
Okay, that is a huge relief.
Right. It combines their world-class medical expertise with Microsoft's foundational AI to enable far earlier and honestly far more accurate medical diagnoses and treatment plans. It is incredibly uplifting to see this kind of life-saving progress.
It really is.
Yeah.
But, as these systems get this specialized and powerful, whether it's in our hospitals or our offices, how do we ensure they remain just tools and don't start, I don't know, running the show entirely?
Well, Microsoft frames this entire launch around a really optimistic vision they call Humanist Superintelligence.
Humanist Superintelligence. I like the sound of that.
It's great. The architecture is designed fundamentally so that the AI remains subordinate to human goals. It's shaped entirely by human intent, ensuring we stay completely in control. The AI doesn't replace us, it just serves as a highly adaptable amplifier for human potential.
That is such an inspiring way to look at it. So here's a thought for you to take away. Since these AI models can now learn from the specific, unique sequence of your real-world tasks, what unwritten personal skill or quirky daily workflow of yours could you theoretically teach a private AI right now to amplify your own potential?
That is a fascinating question. It's just a wonderful time to rethink how we work and grow.
It truly is. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.